Hey everybody, this is Jonah Canal and welcome to my channel. Today's video is an oil painting time lapse of a piece I'm calling Here Comes the Sun. That was inspired by a recent trip to a sunflower field at sunset, playing music in front of a bunch of people. It was really fun and I decided to make a painting inspired by that. So here we go. So when I start my paintings, I always start out with a drawing that's done in paint always. And this is significant because when I started painting, I didn't use a pencil at all. In fact, I've only really started drawing with a pencil recently because I just liked paint and a paintbrush. And I guess once I could draw, I still couldn't let that habit die. And when I'm in this stage, especially if I'm doing a kind of painting where I'm using opaque colors like I will be later, I'm just trying to get an idea of the composition and trying to get the figure in there as much as I can, because you'll see very soon I start covering all of this up, and it was just kind of to get the overall feel of it before I started. So as I said before, this painting, the idea came from a trip to a sunflower field, and I am a guitar player. In fact, I have a degree in playing guitar, and let's see, I've been playing for, I don't know, 13 years, something like that. But the last 3 years I wasn't able to play due to some sort of a mysterious injury that was kind of like tendonitis that I eventually figured out, and I'll talk about, the details of that another day. But it's been nice recently being able to go out into the world and play guitar again, because it was something that I used to love, and it's been really nice just feeling like a normal person that can do normal things again. And I've been dating a new girl recently, and she's a guitar player, and we went out to a sunflower field and we played Beatles songs and things of that nature, and attracted a crowd, and it was a really fun experience, and the atmosphere was just wonderful. It was at sunset, and there's all bees flying between all the different sunflowers, and like there was a crowd that developed around us. We're sitting on the ground as those people are gathering around us as we're singing songs together, and it was really cool. It was a really fun experience, and something I haven't done in a couple years. So when I paint, I'm slowly working on building up layers and refining details. As you can see right now, I'm really just working on getting her face just exactly right. And a lot of these are such like minute changes, but it's amazing, especially when you're working on a kind of smaller size like this, how different a single brush stroke can change the entire feel of a face, which can change the entire feel of the painting as a whole. So when I've been painting in this style recently, like this in my last piece, I've been adding an oleo gel to my whole painting, and then just painting on top of that, which thins my paint. And that's what I've been doing all up to this point, and what I will continue to do as I start to add the sunflowers in the background. And this is where I feel like this piece for me started to feel really good. I took a lot of these details from the sunflower field from pictures I took when I was out on that trip myself. There was like a series of like woods in the background, which I just added, and now I'm adding in all the sunflowers, which you build them from the bottom up. You build the base that they stand on and the part in the middle, and then you add the flower petals out to the side and how the sunlight gets hit on them. And this is how you have to think when you're building these kind of elements in your painting. And from now I'm just kind of cleaning things up, and I am doing little glazes over the things. You can see I'm kind of coming in, and it might even be hard to tell what I'm doing because this glazing process adds totally transparent paint into the mix, it just kind of changes the color. It's kind of like painting with stained glass, really. And there's a totally different technique that I do for some paintings, which I will probably introduce in my next video, that is built on that method entirely. You can see I'm doing it here. Some things just get darker, maybe a little bit more green, and I really enjoy painting in that way. It's a different approach to the whole process, but I find it really fun and unusual. At this point, I'm just adding details on the guitar and all the strings. The strings are really hard to get. It was really nerve-wracking trying to get perfectly straight lines because you don't have a lot of room to mess up. One thing that's nice about painting in all these separate layers is if you do make a mistake and the layer behind you is dry, you could just wipe it off, and you can easily restart from scratch on these different areas. And I'm finishing up, just adding some details, add some feathers on the top of the guitar headstock, which is something I always had on my guitars. And now I'm signing it, and here is the finished piece. Thanks for watching, and I hope you like and subscribe. Find me on Instagram at Jonah Paints, and I'll see you next week.